In a world where external judgments, societal expectations, and the hunger for approval shape our daily lives, it's easy to forget an essential question. Why do we care so much about what others think? Why do we allow their opinions, real or imagined, to create turmoil in our minds and pull us away from the inner peace that is naturally available to us? This question holds the key to a deeper understanding of ourselves and the root of much of our suffering. Buddhism, with its timeless wisdom, offers profound insights that help us unravel this mystery. One of the central truths of the Buddhist path is that much of our suffering comes from attachment, not just to material things or specific outcomes, but to our ideas, beliefs, and most notably, the opinions of others. We become attached to how people perceive us, how much approval we receive, and whether we fit into the expectations of those around us. We let their judgments dictate our self-worth, creating an endless cycle of striving, disappointment, and anxiety. This attachment to external validation convinces us that our happiness depends on being liked, respected, or admired by others, whether it's praise from a friend, recognition at work, or societal acceptance. But here's a liberating truth. Most people don't care as much as we think they do. While we may feel the weight of others' judgments, those judgments are often fleeting, driven by their own insecurities, desires, and attachments. People are too preoccupied with their own struggles, worries, and aspirations to spend much time thinking about us. When we constantly seek approval, we give away our power, allowing others to dictate our sense of worth. We become prisoners to their ever-changing opinions, unable to experience true freedom or peace. However, once we recognize that we don't need validation to be happy, we open the door to liberation, the freedom to be who we truly are, unburdened by the weight of external judgment. Buddhism teaches us that real freedom comes when we let go of the need for approval. This doesn't mean we should stop caring about others or become indifferent to their feelings. On the contrary, true wisdom encourages compassion, kindness, and understanding. But these qualities must come from genuine self-awareness, not a desire to impress or seek favor. The essence of the Buddhist path is about learning to detach from external noise and focus on cultivating inner peace, wisdom, and compassion. When we turn inward and strengthen these qualities, we naturally let go of our need for validation. We begin to experience a sense of fulfillment that is not dependent on others' opinions, but instead grounded in self-acceptance and inner clarity. True happiness, according to Buddhism, does not come from external validation or the pursuit of fleeting desires. It arises from aligning with our deeper self, a self that is already complete, not defined by judgments or expectations. It comes from understanding that we are enough, just as we are, and that true liberation begins when we free ourselves from the endless cycle of attachment and judgment. The path to peace is not about chasing approval or trying to control how others see us. It's about releasing these attachments, grounding ourselves in the present moment, and nurturing qualities that lead to lasting happiness. When we learn to block out the noise of the outside world, we create space for inner wisdom to arise, guiding us toward a life of deeper fulfillment and true peace. Stop seeking validation. One of the biggest barriers to personal freedom is our relentless need for validation. We seek approval in various ways, through likes and comments on social media, compliments from friends, recognition at work, or validation in our personal lives. Society has conditioned us to believe that external affirmations define our worth. Yet, the more we chase after this validation, the more we realize how fleeting and unreliable it truly is. It's like trying to fill a cup with a hole at the bottom. No matter how much approval we receive, it's never enough. This endless cycle of seeking, pleasing, and feeling empty is something the Buddha warned about centuries ago. He taught that true freedom comes from within, not from external sources. One of the core teachings of Buddhism is self-reliance, not in a selfish way, but in the sense that we must take responsibility for our own inner peace. The Buddha famously said, "Be a light unto yourself." This means that instead of relying on the changing opinions of others to define our worth, we must turn inward, grounding ourselves in our own values, principles, and sense of self. This doesn't mean we should reject feedback or ignore relationships. Meaningful connections and constructive feedback are valuable, but the key distinction is that our happiness should not depend on what others think of us. When we constantly seek validation, we hand over our personal power. We allow others to dictate how we feel about ourselves, making their opinions the measuring stick for our self-worth. This leads to an exhausting cycle of trying to please everyone while still feeling unfulfilled. Reflect on this. How much of your daily energy is spent seeking approval? Do you find yourself checking social media for likes, feeling elated when people compliment you, or deflated when no one acknowledges your efforts? There's nothing wrong with enjoying appreciation. The issue arises when our sense of self-worth depends on it. External validation is unstable. It comes and goes, and people's opinions change constantly. If our happiness relies on something so unpredictable, we will never experience true peace. This is why the Buddha's wisdom is so powerful. When we anchor our sense of self in inner wisdom, we create a stable foundation for happiness, one that isn't shaken by others' judgments. Instead of seeking validation, we can validate ourselves. Reclaiming your power. When you stop chasing approval, you take back control of your happiness and self-worth. This is what true freedom looks like. Freedom from the need to constantly please others. Freedom from the fear of judgment, and freedom from the pressure to conform. This doesn't mean we should be indifferent to others, but it does mean that we don't let their opinions control us. We can listen, learn, and engage, but from a place of inner strength, knowing that our worth does not depend on external validation. So, how can we begin cultivating this inner validation? Practice self-awareness. Ask yourself, am I living in alignment with my values? Do I feel good about my choices regardless of whether others approve? If the answer is yes, then you have already found the only validation that truly matters, the kind that comes from knowing you are living a life of integrity and purpose. Make decisions for yourself. When you start making choices based on what truly matters to you, you'll notice the grip of external validation weakening. Your confidence will grow, and you'll feel a greater sense of peace. Embrace self-love. Living without the need for validation is an act of self-love. It's an acknowledgement that you are enough, just as you are, without needing to prove it to anyone. The role of mindfulness and meditation. One of the best ways to strengthen your inner validation is through mindfulness and meditation. These practices help you tune out external noise and connect with your inner world. During moments of quiet reflection, ask yourself, what truly matters to me? What kind of person do I want to be? Am I living in a way that aligns with my deeper self? These simple yet powerful questions will help you develop an inner sense of validation, freeing you from the endless cycle of seeking approval. True freedom lies within. When you stop looking outward for approval, you begin to look inward, and that's where true freedom lies. The external world is unpredictable, but your inner wisdom is unshakable. This shift in mindset also leads to greater compassion. When you no longer need approval, you start giving love and kindness without expecting anything in return. You no longer act to impress, but rather to express your genuine self. Ultimately, the journey towards self-validation is not about rejecting others, it's about reclaiming your power. It's about aligning with your own truth, living with integrity, and finding inner peace. Regardless of external opinions, you already have everything you need to be whole and complete. You are the light unto yourself. 2. Take responsibility for your life. It's easy to fall into the habit of blaming external circumstances for our struggles. When life gets difficult, we may think, if only this person treated me better, or if only I had more money, a better job, or different opportunities, things would be easier. While external challenges are real, waiting for life to change in order to be happy keeps us stuck in a cycle of powerlessness. The Buddha, in his profound wisdom, taught that we alone are responsible for our path. He said, "No one saves us but ourselves. No one can and no one may. We ourselves must walk the path." These words strip away any illusions we might have about someone else coming to rescue us. No one else can transform our thoughts, heal our emotions, or change our mindset for us. While we cannot always control what happens to us, we do have the power to choose how we respond. This realization is the key to personal freedom, shifting from blame to ownership. Taking responsibility for your life doesn't mean blaming yourself for everything. Life is unpredictable and external forces do impact us. However, it does mean accepting that we have the power to shape our responses, our mindset, and our actions. Too often, people wait for external factors to change before taking action. They wait for the perfect conditions, the right job, relationship, or financial security to begin truly living. But happiness and growth are not dependent on external circumstances. They are built from the inside out. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" start asking, "What can I learn from this? How can I respond in a way that makes me stronger? What steps can I take to move forward?" This shift in perspective transforms obstacles into opportunities for growth. Instead of feeling helpless, you become empowered to shape your life. Every choice matters. Think about the challenges you are facing right now. Are you waiting for something external to change before taking action? Or are you stepping into your power and making the most of what you have? Every small decision you make today influences your future. Whether it's taking a small step toward a goal, changing a habit, or choosing a more positive response to a situation, these tiny choices compound over time to create transformation. For example, choosing to take care of your health today may seem small, but it leads to long-term well-being. Practicing forgiveness for someone who wronged you may not change the past, but it will free you from the burden of resentment. Changing one negative thought pattern can shift your entire mindset, leading to greater confidence and peace. The choices we make, no matter how small, shape our reality. Letting go of the victim mindset. Many people get trapped in the victim mindset, believing that life is happening to them, rather than realizing they have the power to create change. If you catch yourself thinking, "This is just how things are. I don't have control over my situation. It's not my fault. Life is unfair," recognize that these thoughts keep you stuck. They prevent you from stepping into your full potential. Taking responsibility means accepting that while you can't control everything, you can control how you respond, grow, and move forward. Growth mindset, the key to personal evolution. Instead of seeing challenges as obstacles, start viewing them as opportunities for growth. Every setback teaches resilience. Every mistake offers a lesson. Every failure provides a new path forward. When you own your choices, emotions, and mindset, you stop waiting for change to happen. You create it. This doesn't mean doing everything alone. Seeking guidance, support, and learning from others is part of the journey. However, no one can walk the path for you. The decision to change, grow, and take control of your life ultimately rests with you. Reclaiming your power. The power to shape your destiny is already within you. You don't need permission to create the life you want. You don't need external circumstances to be perfect before taking action. But many of us get caught in comparison and self-judgment. We look at others and feel that we are behind or not good enough. Social media, cultural expectations, and external pressures often make us feel as though we should be further along in life. However, the only person you should compare yourself to is who you were yesterday. You don't need to wait for someone else to validate your worth. When you take responsibility for your life, you discover a profound sense of strength, resilience, and self-mastery. You become the creator of your own reality. So ask yourself, what choices am I making today that align with my values and goals? Where am I giving away my power by blaming external circumstances? What is one step I can take right now to move toward the life I want? The moment you own your life, you take back your freedom. You are stronger than you think, more resilient than you know, and fully capable of creating change. 3. Focus on growth. Growth is one of the most fundamental principles of Buddhism. Unlike the common belief that happiness comes from external achievements or material success, Buddhist wisdom teaches that true fulfillment comes from continuous inner growth. Life is not about reaching a final destination where everything is perfect. There is no finish line to success, enlightenment, or self-improvement. Instead, life is a journey of constant learning, self-discovery, and transformation. Every experience, whether good or bad, holds an opportunity for growth. Let go of comparison. In a world filled with social validation, it's easy to compare ourselves to others. We see their successes, their achievements, their seemingly perfect lives, and we wonder, why am I not where they are? What am I doing wrong? Am I falling behind? But comparison is a trap. It takes us away from our own path and distracts us from focusing on our personal journey. The truth is, everyone grows at their own pace. Instead of measuring yourself against others, ask yourself these questions. Am I learning from my past mistakes? Am I making progress in the areas that matter most to me? Am I becoming more patient, wise, and compassionate over time? These are the measures of true growth. The power of small, consistent steps. Many people think of growth as a series of big achievements, getting a promotion, buying a house, or making a dramatic life change. But real growth happens in small, consistent steps over time. For example, choosing kindness over anger, even when it's difficult, practicing gratitude daily, even when life is challenging, taking a deep breath before reacting to a frustrating situation, prioritizing self-care even when you feel too busy. Each of these choices may seem small, but over time they shape who you become. The key to lasting transformation is consistency, not perfection. Failure is a part of growth. One of the greatest barriers to personal growth is the fear of failure. Many people hesitate to take action because they're afraid of making mistakes or looking foolish. But failure is not something to avoid. It is a necessary step in the journey of growth. The Buddha himself faced countless challenges and setbacks before attaining enlightenment. His teachings remind us that mistakes are not signs of weakness, but opportunities for learning. Instead of seeing failure as an endpoint, view it as a lesson that teaches you something valuable, a stepping stone to greater wisdom and strength, a reminder that growth requires effort and resilience. The most successful and fulfilled people are not those who never fail, but those who learn from every failure and keep going. Self-judgment slows growth. Many of us are far too harsh on ourselves. We criticize ourselves for not being good enough or not doing enough. This kind of negative self-talk creates fear and doubt, making growth much harder. Buddhism teaches self-compassion, the practice of treating yourself with the same kindness you would offer a close friend. Growth is not about being perfect. It's about being patient with yourself as you learn and evolve. Whenever you feel discouraged, remind yourself, I am growing at my own pace. Every step forward, no matter how small, is progress. I don't need to have it all figured out to move forward. When you let go of harsh self-judgment, growth becomes easier and more natural. Mindfulness, a tool for growth. One of the most powerful tools for personal growth is mindfulness. By practicing mindfulness, you become more aware of your thoughts and how they shape your emotions, your habits and whether they support your growth, your reactions to challenges and whether they help or harm you. Instead of rushing through life unconsciously, mindfulness allows you to pause and ask, is this action aligned with my values? Am I responding in a way that supports my growth? What lesson can I learn from this moment? By developing this level of self-awareness, you gain the ability to make better choices, break unhealthy patterns, and cultivate inner peace. The journey never ends. Personal growth is not about reaching a point where you are finished or complete. Growth is a lifelong process. The goal is not perfection, but continuous self-improvement. Each day presents new challenges and opportunities to become a better version of yourself. There is no rush. There is no competition. All that matters is that you keep moving forward. So ask yourself, what is one small step I can take today toward growth? How can I learn from today's experiences? Am I becoming more patient, wise, and compassionate? The answers to these questions will guide you toward a life of purpose, fulfillment, and inner peace. When you focus on growth, you stop worrying about external achievements, comparisons, or the opinions of others. Instead, you begin to embrace the journey and trust that every experience is shaping you into the person you are meant to be. Block out the noise. In today's world, we are surrounded by constant noise, not just physical noise, but mental and emotional distractions. We are bombarded with opinions, expectations, and comparisons from social media, family, friends, and society. Everyone has an opinion on how you should live, what you should do, and who you should be. But here's the truth. Most of this noise is irrelevant to your personal growth and happiness. Buddhism teaches the power of mindfulness, the ability to focus on what truly matters while letting go of unnecessary distractions. If you want to live with greater peace, clarity, and fulfillment, you must learn to block out the noise and listen to your inner wisdom. The power of the present moment. One of the biggest sources of noise in our minds is worrying about the future or dwelling on the past. We replay past mistakes, hold on to regrets, or stress about things that haven't even happened yet. But the only thing you truly have is the present moment. When you focus on the present, you silence the unnecessary noise in your mind. You stop overthinking about things you can't change, and you start fully experiencing life as it unfolds. Instead of worrying about what people think of you, focus on what truly makes you happy. Stressing about what could go wrong, focus on what you can do right now. Getting distracted by external judgments, focus on your personal journey. When you ground yourself in the present moment, the outside world loses its power over you. Letting go of irrelevant opinions. One of the biggest mental burdens we carry is worrying about what others think of us. We adjust our actions, words, and even dreams based on the fear of being judged. But the truth is, most people are too focused on their own lives to think about you as much as you imagine. People's opinions are constantly changing. so they are never a reliable source of validation. The people who judge you are often projecting their own insecurities and fears. So why waste your energy worrying about what others think? The Buddha taught that attachment to external opinions creates suffering. True peace comes from letting go of that attachment and realizing that only your own self-awareness and integrity matter. Ask yourself, does this opinion truly affect my path? Is this judgment coming from someone whose wisdom I trust? Will this matter a year from now? If the answer is no, then let it go. Set boundaries to protect your energy. Blocking out the noise doesn't just mean letting go of negative thoughts. It also means setting healthy boundaries in your relationships and environment. Some people in your life may constantly drain your energy with negativity and criticism. Am I mindlessly consuming information that doesn't serve me? Is my attention being controlled by external forces instead of my own choices? Take back control by reducing unnecessary screen time, choosing content that uplifts and educates you, practicing mindfulness and limiting distractions. When you take back control of your attention, you create space for clarity, peace, and meaningful personal growth. Listen to your inner voice. Amidst all the external noise, your inner voice is often drowned out. But that voice, the one deep inside you, is the only one that truly matters. Instead of asking, "What do others expect from me?" ask yourself, "What do I truly want?" Unsolicited opinions, toxic behaviors. You do not have to engage with these energies. Protect your peace by setting clear boundaries. This could mean limiting time spent with negative people, saying no to things that do not align with your values, being selective about what media or conversations you consume. Setting boundaries is not selfish. It is self-care. It allows you to focus on what truly matters without getting lost in unnecessary distractions. Reclaim your attention. We live in a world filled with distractions. Social media, news, and entertainment are designed to keep us engaged but not fulfilled. Ask yourself, how much time do I spend on things that do not add value to my life? What aligns with my values and goals? What brings me real peace and fulfillment? By reconnecting with your inner wisdom, you start living life on your own terms, not according to others' expectations. The freedom of letting go. When you block out the noise, you discover a powerful truth. You are free. Free from external opinions, free from unnecessary distractions, free from the pressure to conform. Instead of living in reaction to the world around you, you start making conscious choices that align with your true self. So let go of the unnecessary noise. Focus on what truly matters. Protect your peace, listen to your inner wisdom, and create a life of clarity, purpose, and fulfillment. 5. Your freedom. Nobody cares as much as you think, so live your life. Many of us live as if we are constantly being watched, judged, and evaluated. We worry about what others think of our choices, our appearance, and our actions. This fear of judgment can be paralyzing, stopping us from pursuing our dreams, speaking our truth, or even simply being ourselves. But here's the liberating truth. Nobody cares as much as you think they do. The spotlight effect. We overestimate how much others notice us. Psychologists have identified a phenomenon called the spotlight effect, the tendency to believe we are being observed and judged more than we actually are. The reality is, most people are far too busy with their own lives to think about you as much as you imagine. Any judgments they have about you are usually brief and forgotten quickly. If they do judge you, it's more about their own insecurities than about you. Think about how often you worry about other people's opinions. Now ask yourself, how much time do you actually spend thinking about someone else's mistakes, choices, or flaws? Exactly. We are all too wrapped up in our own worlds. The freedom of letting go. Once you internalize that nobody is paying as much attention to you as you think, a new world of freedom opens up. You stop modifying your behavior to please others. You stop holding yourself back from new experiences. You stop wasting energy on imagined criticism. You gain the courage to live life on your own terms. So what if someone thinks your dreams are unrealistic? So what if someone judges your lifestyle? So what if someone doesn't approve of your choices? At the end of the day, you are the one who has to live with your decisions, not them. Live for yourself, not for others' approval. The greatest mistake we make is living for external validation instead of our own fulfillment. We delay our happiness thinking, I'll start my dream business when people take me seriously. I won't wear what I love because people might judge me. I won't express my ideas because someone might criticize me. But why wait? Why silence yourself for people who aren't even paying that much attention? When you live for yourself, you make decisions based on your values, not on fear of judgment. You feel more confident and authentic. You attract people who respect the real you. The only validation you truly need is your own. Overcoming the fear of judgment. Even when we intellectually understand that nobody cares as much as we think, the fear of judgment can still linger. Here's how to overcome it. 1. Shift your focus to what truly matters. Instead of thinking, what will people think of me? Ask, will this matter in 5 years? Does this align with my personal values? Am I living a life I'm proud of? When you focus on what truly matters, external opinions lose their power. 2. Accept that you can't please everyone. No matter what you do, someone will always have an opinion. If you play it safe, people will call you boring. If you take risks, people will call you reckless. If you succeed, some will celebrate you while others will criticize you. Trying to please everyone is a losing battle. Instead, please yourself. 3. Stop seeking permission. Many of us wait for permission from society, family, or friends to be who we truly are. But the only permission you need is your own. You don't need approval to follow your dreams, validation to express your ideas, acceptance from everyone to be happy. Give yourself the freedom to live authentically. 4. Take risks without fear. Fear of judgment often stops us from stepping outside our comfort zones. We don't pursue a passion because we fear failure. We don't start something new because we fear looking foolish. But when you understand that nobody is watching as closely as you think, you free yourself to take risks. Fail, learn, grow. It's your life. Experience it fully. Happiness is your responsibility. One of the most powerful lessons from Buddhism is this: your happiness is your responsibility. If you base your happiness on other people's approval, external success, being liked by everyone, then you will never be truly happy. But if you cultivate inner peace, self-acceptance, and purpose, your happiness will no longer be at the mercy of external validation. You reclaim your power. Final thought: live fully, without apology. At the end of your life, you won't regret the things people thought about you. You will regret the things you didn't do because you were too afraid of what others might think. So stop waiting, stop hesitating, stop playing small. Wear what you love, speak your truth, pursue your passions, take risks. It doesn't come from external achievements, other people's approval, perfect circumstances. It comes from your mindset, your choices, your ability to cultivate inner peace. As the Buddha said, happiness does not depend on what you have or who you are. It solely relies on what you think. Be unapologetically yourself, because in the end, nobody cares as much as you think. So live your life on your own terms. 6. the power of taking responsibility for your happiness. Happiness is something we all seek, yet many of us unknowingly place the responsibility for our happiness outside of ourselves. We think, "I'll be happy when I get that promotion. I'll be happy when I find the perfect partner. I'll be happy when people respect me." But the truth is, happiness is not something that happens to you. It's something you create. Happiness is an inside job. One of the most liberating lessons from Buddhism is this: your happiness is your responsibility. This means that no matter what happens around you, you hold the key to your own peace, joy, and fulfillment. Stop waiting for external circumstances to change. Many people believe they'll be happy once their life improves. Once I have more money, I'll feel secure. Once I lose weight, I'll feel confident. Once I get the recognition I deserve, I'll be content. But this mindset places happiness in the future, always just out of reach. The problem is, once you reach that goal, you'll find another condition that needs to be met. External circumstances are temporary. They will never provide lasting fulfillment. Instead of waiting for life to change your mindset. Ask yourself, what can I appreciate in my life right now? How can I create happiness in this moment? What choices can I make today that bring me peace? When you stop waiting and start owning your happiness, you take back control of your life. The power of mindfulness and gratitude. Buddhist teachings emphasize mindfulness and gratitude as two of the most powerful tools for cultivating happiness. 1. Mindfulness. Be present in the now. One of the biggest obstacles to happiness is not living in the present moment. We are either stuck in the past, regretting, overanalyzing, dwelling on mistakes, anxious about the future, worrying, stressing about things beyond our control. But true peace exists only in the present moment. When you practice mindfulness, you let go of unnecessary stress, appreciate life as it unfolds, stop worrying about things you can't control. Mindfulness teaches you that happiness is not in the future, it's in the now. 2. Gratitude. Focus on what you have. Most people focus on what's missing in their lives, which creates a sense of lack. Gratitude shifts your focus to what's already good in your life. It's not about ignoring your challenges, but about recognizing the blessings you already have. Instead of thinking, "I wish I had more," think, "I'm grateful for what I do have." Instead of focusing on what's wrong, focus on what's right. By practicing gratitude daily, you train your mind to seek the good in every situation, and this is a major key to happiness. Self-compassion. Be kind to yourself. A major reason people struggle with happiness is self-criticism. We judge ourselves for our mistakes. We compare ourselves to others. We hold ourselves to impossible standards. But self-criticism destroys happiness. Instead of being your own worst enemy, be your own best friend. Speak to yourself with kindness. Forgive yourself for past mistakes. Recognize that you are worthy of happiness exactly as you are. Happiness doesn't come from being perfect. It comes from accepting yourself fully. Let go of the illusion of control. Another source of unhappiness is trying to control things beyond our power. We try to control how others see us. We try to control the future. We try to control the outcome of every situation. But the more we try to control life, the more frustrated we become. The Buddhist concept of impermanence teaches us that everything is always changing. We cannot control everything, but we can control how we respond. When you let go of control, you find peace in uncertainty. Instead of resisting life, you learn to flow with it. Happiness is a daily practice. Happiness is not something you achieve once and keep forever. It's something you cultivate every day. Each day you have a choice: to focus on the good or dwell on the negative, to be present or lost in the past, future, to be kind to yourself or overly critical. Every moment, you can choose thoughts and actions that bring you closer to inner peace. Final thought: you are in control of your happiness. If you rely on other people's approval, external success, perfect circumstances, you will always be chasing happiness. But if you take responsibility for your happiness, you stop waiting for life to change. Stop letting external opinions affect you. Start creating happiness from within. True happiness is being present, appreciating what you have, letting go of the need for external validation, embracing who you are. It's not about what happens around you, it's about how you choose to experience life. And the best part, you are in control of it. 7. Impermanence makes everything temporary. One of the most profound and transformative teachings in Buddhism is the concept of impermanence, anicca. At its core, impermanence reminds us that everything in life, joy and sorrow, success and failure, praise and criticism, is temporary. This realization, far from being discouraging, is actually liberating. By embracing impermanence, we can let go of attachment, navigate life's changes with ease, find peace in every moment. Everything is in a constant state of change. Take a moment to reflect on your life. Think of the happiest moments, the celebrations, the achievements, the milestones. At the time, you probably thought, "This is perfect. I never want this to end." But over time, the excitement faded, life moved forward, new challenges and new joys arose. Now think of the most painful moments in your life: a heartbreaking loss, a failure, a moment of deep struggle. At the time, you may have thought, "I'll never get through this." But what happened? Time passed. The pain softened. You moved forward, even if you didn't realize it. This is the nature of impermanence.